Morning, guys. Happy Friday, or whatever day you're watching this. We're going to start with this painting. This painting is a description from, this painting is a scene from Homer's Odyssey. And this guy right here on the boat, this is Odysseus. I know some of you might confuse that with me. That's fairly accurate representation of my body. But that's actually Odysseus. So sorry for the confusion. These right here are the sirens that are often represented in Greek tales, Greek mythology. We're going to come back to this, but first I want to start with a scene from Pirates of the Caribbean. Guys, stay with me. Scene is 2 minutes and 50 seconds long, but it'll all make sense at the end.
Lord, save me. Man, look. Look there.
You scared her off! Aye, and good riddance!
Can you talk?
Yes.
You're beautiful.
Are you the one who sings?
Aye.
Are you my jolly sailor bold?
Aye, that'll be.
Scrum, comport yourself! Hey, boys! There ain't much been given to me in my brief, miserable life. There's the truth in it. But by God, I'll have it said that Scrum had himself a kiss from a proper mermaid!
My heart is pierced by Cupid. I disdain all glittering gold. There is nothing can console me but my jolly sailor bold. Come, all ye pretty fair maids, whoever ye may be, like a jolly sailor bold that calms the raging sea. My heart is pierced by Cupid. I disdain all glittering gold. There is nothing can console but my jolly sailor bold. My heart is pierced by Cupid. I disdain all glittering gold. There is nothing can console but my jolly sailor bold.
I'm that exciting. Come back to this painting. Alright, first I want to say this situation could easily have been reversed. Could have been women on the boat, men in the water. Men in the boat, men in the water. It's kind of irrelevant. It's supposed to paint a picture, a metaphorical picture of temptation. And I find I struggle with temptation. I took a picture the other day of a plastic cup with some snacks in them. Amanda came to the gym with a bag of snacks for me. I didn't have any time for dinner. Wasn't going to go home until late, so I wasn't going to eat anything, so she brought me some snacks. And I looked at the back of the bag, and it was 360 calories for the whole bag and 120 for a serving. They were healthy snacks, but I knew that if I held that bag, I would eat the entire bag. To me, that bag of snacks was like a beautiful woman singing naked to me with this wonderful voice, promising that I could go home after I've had my fill of pleasure, which is the story from Odysseus. It turns out the sirens are actually cannibals, and you did not go back home. They ate you and killed you. So first Amanda's response was, Jesus, Eric, just show some freaking discipline. That was her first response. To which I replied, I don't have any self-discipline. I have some self-discipline, and I'm working on self-discipline. Obviously, I'm speaking in hyperbole to get her to only give me one serving, but she finally caved and only gave me one serving because I knew that that bag sitting next to the monitor in the CrossFit room while I taught classes for 2 hours would be like beautiful naked women singing to me, promising me all the pleasures that I wanted. It required a boat full of men, in this case, just Amanda, but a boat full of men in order to help me not be tempted. So much of what our coaching program is about is behaviors. And behaviors, habits, are very, very hard. It's said that 45% of our waking behavior is automated, meaning we're essentially robots. Half of every decision we make is automated. So the bad news is that if we have bad habits, these are really hard to break. Smoking, drinking, eating, late night snacking, not going to the gym, complaining at work, waking up late, going to bed late, watching TV every night. You know, these things that we do repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again, they become habits, and habits become very hard to break. Now, they're hard to break because our brain wires us this way. Our brain wants to save energy. Our brain consumes more calories than anything else in our body. So what our brain wants to do is make our life easier. We cannot do two things at once. We can only do one. So the brain automates certain tasks so that it requires less energy. By automating tasks, the brain has now energy to focus on other things. That's why we form habits. It's biological. We're not necessarily choosing to be lazy. Our brain is deciding for us. So the bad news is habits are hard to break. The good news is that habits are hard to break. So that once we break those habits and we insert new habits, those new habits will be hard to break. Waking up early every day will be hard to break. Going to bed on time, getting 8 hours of sleep, eating healthy, going to the gym, these habits will be hard to break. But what it requires, in my humble opinion, in my experience, is it requires a boat full of pirates who are grabbing you by the arm and not letting you fall into the ocean where there's a beautiful naked lady singing to you, come into the water, have your pleasure with me, and then I'll let you go. There's so many analogies we can draw from this. What would that pleasure be? Let's imagine it was true. That pleasure would be very temporary. It would be very short-lived. Eventually, you got to get back onto the boat and you got to do work again. And then the reality is they don't let you back on the boat. They eat you. They kill you and they eat you. They were carnivores. The sirens were carnivores, which is why Odysseus tied himself to the mast. He physically restrained himself, and it's said in the story that he struggled to get out, even though he knew the dangers. They were so tempting, these beautiful women, and their voices were so tempting that he struggled to get out, and his men had to tighten the ropes around him. Now, his men could see them, but they could not hear. They had put beeswax into their ears. So the analogies here are the people on the boat helping Odysseus were like the people in our lives that are helping us be disciplined. And the ropes and the beeswax are the things that we put in place in our lives to prevent us or make it more difficult for us to do the easy things that we want to do, like having a bagel every day, or having an alcoholic drink at night, or or skipping the workout. Now, when you go to a bar with your friends because they ask you to come out, your friends become the pretty naked ladies. All right? Try this on for size and let me know how it works. Next time you go to a bar, picture your friends as beautiful naked women singing to you, or beautiful naked men singing to you. They're the ones tempting you for that short pleasure. It is a bit of an exaggeration or hyperbole or however you want to look at it, but it is temporary pleasure for a more permanent pain. And by that person encouraging you to drink or to behave badly or poorly or make poor decisions. I'm not talking about little things in the drop of an ocean of good behaviors, but I'm talking about somebody who's trying to change their behaviors. They really are like the carnivores. They really are making it very, very difficult for you to change. And we know that change is necessary because bad behaviors lead to poor health conditions. Poor health conditions put you at risk. The number one killer of all Americans today is cardiac heart disease. It is poor nutrition. The number one reason that Americans are in nursing homes is poor mobility and poor function. That is not exercising. These things are facts, and they are unavoidable. And falling victim to this beautiful naked lady singing to you, trying to get you onto the beach, is akin to putting you in a nursing home or placing you in a hospital or even putting you into a grave. So, stories today from Beautiful Naked Women and Homer's Odysseus. Guys, happy Friday. The weekend is upon us. Be careful what you do Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. Stay strong, stay hard, crush it. Love y'all. Peace.